My name is Jonas Alvall. I'm head of the Department of IMER, International Migration and Ethnic Relations, here at Malmö University. And I feel very privileged and very happy today to welcome you to this seminar, which is also a manifestation of the fact that we are now entering a stage where we can say that Caucasus studies, it's officially a field of study here at Malmö University. I think we could say that in both IMER in general and in the field of Caucasus studies, we focus many issues where social science, cultural science, and linguistics intersect. So that's why it's such a great thing, and I feel very happy about the fact that IMER as a department can house the Caucasus studies. We're not alone in this work. We are cooperating and feel very strongly about our cooperation with colleagues in Denmark, Copenhagen, colleagues and friends at Österlens Folkhögskola in Tomelilla, who are here today. This is a field of study that has a global interest, of course. If you look at the pictures above, and from a Swedish perspective, you might feel that the Caucasus region seems a bit exotic, far away. But in fact, it's not. It's very much present, and it's of great international importance, politically, culturally, historically. So it's a great thing, and I'm in great debt to our colleagues here, Professor Carina Wamling, to our senior lecturers Märta-Lisa Magnusson, Revas Chanturia, and Manana Kokkobaitse, for having made this possible. They have really put in a tremendous amount of work throughout the years. And this work is now beginning to bear fruit. And I think this calls for a celebration, and this celebration starts right now. So welcome to you all, and I will leave the floor to Carina Wamling and Märta-Lisa Magnusson.
Thank you very much for these words. A very warm welcome to all of you here. Märta-Lisa and I will have a short presentation here about Caucasus studies. Why we think this is very important, fascinating, interesting, and it will be a presentation from our personal perspective also. After that, we will present our courses, just briefly for you to see what kind of courses will be on offer. I think if you would sort of pick one word to characterize this region, it would be complexity. This is a small region, but it's so immensely complex.
If we start with the politics seminar, this region is extremely interesting from a political science point of view. Because if you look at the map, and you see that this region is comprised by newly independent states and also autonomous entities within these independent, internationally recognized states. How do you get cohesive nations, and how do you get cohesive states out of these structures? So if you want to study nation building and state building, stick to the Caucasus. Because in civil wars, you do not question the territorial base of the state. The conflicts, the violent conflicts in the Caucasus regions, are just like that. They part of groups, geographically, regionally based within the independent states of the Caucasus. They demand states of their own. They want to cut a part of the incumbent state and establish a national state of their own. But for international organizations and the international society to get involved in conflict prevention, conflict management, conflict resolution, peacekeeping and things like that, in conflicts involving separatism, secessionism, is something completely different and very, very difficult.
We have approximately 50 languages spoken in this area. And these are languages that have sort of their main area in the Caucasus. It's not immigrated groups, sort of indigenous groups. So it's a very big ethno-linguistic complexity. Some of these languages are very, very tiny. If you look at many of the Caucasian languages, you find very, very rare features that you don't find in other European languages. And this means that it's very interesting and important to document these languages, to study them. Some of them are not very well studied. And to have this documentation for comparative use. Language is a very, very hot subject. It's very important for your identity, and the possible choice of language is, as it is expressed in practice or in language policies, is an utterly important and politicized subject. And then we also study a language of the Caucasus. We think that this is very, very important. Just having at least a small knowledge of the language is such an important key to contacts, and also a possibility to at least to understand a little of your environment and surrounding when you come to the Caucasus.
The same with studying the history of Caucasus. You are not supposed to study history in the sense of knowing which year some of the emperors or local kings died and things like that. But it's extremely important to know some basic facts about the history of the Caucasus in order to understand what is going on today, because history is very, very alive in the mental landscapes of people down here.
So the language courses, well, this fall we will have Georgian. If you're interested in studying Georgian, you can speak to Manana. And we will also have a new course on Chechen. And we have Russian online. So you will be able to sort of follow Caucasus studies during one year. We continue with state and nation building in the Caucasus. And as we have a profile here, or rather two profiles, we have a sort of more political, conflict-oriented profile, and we have another profile that is oriented towards languages and cultures. You can sort of choose between going into peoples and languages of the Caucasus, or you can select conflicts and conflict resolution in the Caucasus. And we also have an elective course